Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can build your own peace of mind. And actually, this is not your peace of mind, this is my peace of mind. So you can build your own, but you have different needs. I live here. And every time I get here, I can't remember if I closed my garage door. All right, well, I can check it and control it remotely, right? There are some vendor-specific solutions, like Craftsman and some of the other Chamberlain. They make their own, but you have to have a fairly new garage door opener, and you have to use their vendor-hosted solution, which I'm getting more privacy conscious, but I'm more worried that they're going to just take the service away one day, and then your expensive, fancy garage door opener is just a box that hangs off the side of your car. And there's one other option that I found that isn't online, but it will time it, and if it's been open for too long, it'll close it yourself. And that would have almost worked, except it's really loud. It makes this horrible wailing sound. I don't know. So I'm going to build my own. I got myself a Raspberry Pi. You need a power supply and a micro SD card. They don't always tell you that you need these things, but you do. I found a blog post that tells you how to de-Englandize it, which it's called Americanizing. It really is just how you go through and change all the locale settings, but you'll want to do that because it really thinks it's from England. I bought myself an infrared proximity sensor. I think it was $7. It's kind of cool. It's got a light emitting. It's got a light emitting source on one side and a light collecting source on the other side. And bring anything close enough to it, it'll see the reflected light and it'll say, there's something there, and it changes the output voltage. I had a laying around transistor from some old project that I'd had, and it turned out it worked well enough. The transistor is basically just a switch that if you apply some current to it, it will let other current go through. And that's basically all your button does when you press your garage door, right? So, start with those. There's a really cool mountable prototype board from Adafruit. This will sit on top of the Raspberry Pi, but it's something you can solder to. And I needed a few other things, the most important of which is, if you saw on that detector, it had 3 wires. So I was going to use, speaker wire, but speaker wire only has 2 leads, and this thing has 3 leads. So how am I going to get all the way to the side of my garage door? Old telephone wire, which you guys don't need anymore anyway. So, so this is the board partially assembled, and you can see how the little board sits on top of the Raspberry Pi, and you can solder onto that when it's off, obviously. And that got me to more of the software side of this. Well, I want to have 2 images, but I'm not very good at drawing things, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so I went into an SVG editor. I used Inkscape. I drew 2 layers on the same image. It's a door and a car that's behind the door. And the nice thing about it is I know just enough web front end to say, with the CSS transition, I can move an SVG image one on top of the other. And you do it more or less like this. Here's a demonstration. This isn't connected to my garage, but if I mouse over it, you see how the transition works. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's ugly, but I'm not good at this. But it doesn't matter, because it tells me if it worked. So I wrote, of course, a Mojolicious web app. I'm involved in Mojolicious. If you need any help with Mojo, please come talk to me. It has a little API that just tells me basically is the garage door open or not, and then another one that lets me open or close it, and then it pulls, the backend pulls for the door state once a second and shoves it to me on the WebSocket, as long as I'm connected. It's not too bad. It's only me. This wouldn't scale, but who cares? Importantly, clicking the door, your first thought is going to be, well, when I click the door, I'm already in JavaScript, so I just move the door, right? No, you want to know when the door moved. So don't connect your JavaScript action to the reporting state. You want the reporting state to only come from the poller. A quick word about security. If your house is like my house, this is a door to your house, and you've just put it online. So do think about that a little bit. And now, if everything works, hello, Carolyn. Are you there? She's supposed to be here. Turn your camera on. No? Wait. Why are we in the house? Our garage door's not in the house. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Out there, because I'm showing you that, I can't show you it here. So I've got it on my phone. Hey Brett, why don't you hit the button? Alright, there we go.
That's funny.
It should slide up. Okay, almost all of the live demo worked.